Right, welcome back. This is Barry here again with Cryptics ABC for all, and this is tutorial 6B, and we're discussing homophones. You probably know what homophones are. The answer, of course, in Cryptics, the answer sounds like the fodder, or could sound like it's synonym, which is not in front of you. A little bit harder, that one, but that can happen. Examples of homophones: flower and flower. Two things that sound the same but mean entirely different things. They're spelled differently and mean different things. Creek and creek. They're spelled differently and they mean different things, but they sound the same. Flags, apparently. Well, why apparently? What's that got to do with homophones? Well, apparently, because it may not be what it sounds like. There's the reason for apparently. Apparently is a tricky one. It can be used in lots of tricks. It can be used for anagrams for a start. Okay? Apparently it's not how it's spelled, and so on. Anyway, said, back to homophones. Said because it implies speech. Heard implies speech. Noise implies hearing. Uh, Reportedly, because it's something that's been heard or said, mentioned, screamed. Anything implying sound is a homophone flag. Can be used for it. Don't forget the steps in solving cryptics, and let's get on to the work. A winning run calls for an honour roll. Right, there are spaces. Oh, two, then one, then four. There are three separate words here. When I see A, there's only one letter that can go in there, a single one. It's got to be A. Okay? A. If you see a 1, you whack in the A. There's nothing else goes in there. Right, a winning run calls for an honour roll. So, calls for is a homophone flag, I think. It can be. So, let's see. The key, winning run calls for a winning run. Or maybe the winning run, we'll try that for the key. A winning run. What's a winning run? When you're playing cricket and you hit the winning run, or you could be at the pokies and winning all the time. That's a winning run. Different idea, but it's a winning run. One of those probably applies here. Calls for an honour roll. Now, homophones are actually fairly simple because you can look at that possible fodder and say it and say, what does it sound like? On a roll, on a roll, on a roll, on a roll. Yes, on a roll. That's where you get it from. So homophones can be simple on a roll, particularly if the fodder is right in front of you and they're not using a synonym with the fodder, which makes it harder. Okay, so that's a homophone. Right, next one. Plait it, you'd said. That is a trite remark. Right, 9 spaces, a long one. 9 spaces with an I. Okay, you'd said. Said to me is a homophone flag, or it can be homophone flag. So looking for a homophone. Now at this stage you can do it either way. Look for the key, or just look for something that you can say and sound like something else. Platitude said. Platitude. Platitude, 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 platitude. There it is, platitude. You can see you can do it that way too, by just looking at something and saying it over and over, or saying the synonym over and over, and you come up with platitude. But is that the answer? That means this must be the key. A trite remark. Is that a platitude? Yes, of course it is. A trite remark is a platitude. So we put that down there. That's the platitude, and that is a homophone. Got that? Okay, next one. Double star. Bold undertaking to walk on stage, asking for prize. Well, right, bold undertaking. Now we have 10 spaces with an N and an S. Okay, let's see. Flags. Bold undertaking to walk on stage, or asking for. Now, asking for suggests a possible homophone. Yes, homophone. You got half it there. Well, asking is probably good enough. Asking for prize. Homophone. Well, let's see. You can do what I said and try to find it by sounding things out. Bold undertaking to walk on stage. Nothing there. Asking for prize. And nothing pops up. Well, must be synonyms. Okay, probably why it's a double star. They're using synonyms instead for the homophones. All right, let's have a go at the key. Bold undertaking. Well, that could be the key. Try that. Bold undertaking. What's a bold undertaking? Now let's look for this homophone business. There's a homophone here for sure. It looks like there could be two lots of fodders. Walk on stage asking for prize. Walk on stage asking for prize. Let's highlight those. There's it. Walk on stage and prize. Now, somehow you've got to sound these words out, sound their synonyms out, and get a meaning for bold undertaking. Unless you can come up with a synonym for bold undertaking straight up. What's a bold undertaking? Oh, I think you've got it. Bold undertaking. A bold undertaking, you say, oh, that's a bold undertaking is a, I know it's a challenge, but you got an N there. A bold undertaking is an, yes, it is an enterprise. An enterprise. Well, let's see if we can get it here. Walk on stage. Oh, yeah, remember Shakespeare's plays? If you read a Shakespeare's play, you see at the top instructions for someone to enter the stage, to walk on the stage. Say Romeo might enter the stage and you say, enter Romeo, right? So that's where the enter comes in. Enter. So to walk on stage means to enter. We got that. And of course, prize is a homophone for P-R-I-S-E. So there it is. There's the two. Enter, prize, homophone. And of course, there's probably a charade of those two things there too. Okay, right. Got that? You like it? Good. Next one. Right, it's harmless enough to be 9, they say. 6 spaces with an N. Okay, looking at the flag. I mean, you can pause these anytime you like and try them yourself, of course. Looking at the flags, they say. Now that could be a homophone flag. Okay, homophone flag. Right, now, it's harmless enough to be 9, they say. To be 9. You say that a bit quickly and you'll hear it. To be 9, be 9, be 9. To be 9. Harmless enough, yes, I think we got the picture. Harmless enough looks like the key. It's harmless enough. Because something is harmless enough, it is benign, isn't it? Like a cancer is not a cancer, it's benign. So there you have it. There's your answer. And it is a homophone. Okay, done. Next one. Here we go. All right, give up land like C did, apparently. 5 spaces with an E, double star again. Right, let's see. Flags in the clue, apparently, can be a homophone flag. Of course, it can also be an anagram flag. But anyway, we'll see. Give up land like C did, apparently. Like C did, give up land. Give up land. If you give up land, like, say, Ukraine gives up land to Russia, then they ceded the land, didn't they? So, that's going to be a key, I think, to give up land. There's a synonym for ceded. Giving up land is ceded. Ceded. And how does that work here? Like ceded. Well, ceded. If you say that sort of quickly, you get ceded. Sort of. So see, there's a homophone, and that's what we've got here. That is a homophone. We're happy. We've got it all. All right. Deep sounding camp living. Another double star. Keep sounding, deep sounding camp living. Right, so here we have in the clue, sounding. Sounding sounds like it could be a homophone flag to me. Sounding. Right, let's look for the key or a synonym sound or whatever. Deep sounding camp living. Well, nothing there can jump into mind as a homophone. Camp living. Well, deep. All right, let's look for a key. What's deep? Is that a key? Is that the key? What's the synonym for deep? Deep can be very like the Marianas Trench or the Titanic. Deep water. What else can deep be? Deep can be. Uh, he can be in deep thought, I suppose. Deep thought, or something could be said that's deep, or that's deep. Or maybe I might say he's introverted. He's deep. Yeah. Well, there's lots of meanings for deep, isn't there? You got to come up with one. Can we get a hint down here? Uh, camp living. If you're doing camp living, now that if you run that together, camp living, it doesn't come up with anything that makes sense to me. Camp living. I think we're on to the homophone here. This looks like the fodder, and this looks like the key. So, because we can get so many synonyms for deep. Camp living. All right. Tell me, what do you think? Deep. What's deep? And camp living. Camp living. If that's your fodder, camp living. That's got a fodder mark there, but that is the fodder. All right, camp living. Ah, well, if you're living in a camp, you are living in tents, aren't you? You're living in tents, and deep is intense. Of course, there it is. We've got it. And you nut around a bit, and you finally come up with the answer. Deep is intense thought, and homophone. There it is. And that wasn't meant to be easy. It was a double star. You got to come up with the synonyms for the keys and things. Right, don't forget, if you like it, just subscribe so I know that you do like it. Okay, and we'll do 6C shortly.